This video will discuss brake mounting and adjustment for U-brake rim caliper systems. Make sure you're watching the caliper mounting and adjustment video that matches your brake type. If you're not sure what you're dealing with, watch this video. The U-brake is a rim caliper brake found on BMX freestyle and some vintage mountain bikes. The U-brake fits to the frame above the rim. Both sides will have spring tension that pulls the pads from the rim. Arms are brought together either by housing to one arm or from a straddle wire carrier. Typical tools and supplies for U-brakes may include hex wrenches for mounting the arms and brake pad adjustment, torque wrench with correct bits, 10mm box end wrench for a cable pinch bolt, cable stretcher BT2 4th hand, cone wrenches to fit for centering the brake, cable cutter such as the CN10, grease, and a rag. The U-brakes are mounted to the frame fittings, but first they should have some grease. Grease only the outside. Do not get any grease inside. It's common to use a mounting bolt with some aerobic Loctite that will hold the bolt secure. Grease will defeat the purpose of the Loctite. Install one arm, install the second arm. Unlike cantilevers, there is no spring hole. The springs are held by these outer fittings when the mounting bolts are tight. Install a mounting bolt in each arm and run the bolts down. These two fittings outside the brake arms are used to hold the springs, and they will control spring tension. Here we have no spring tension at all. A cone wrench will fit the outside of the spacer, move these inboard, hold, and as we secure the mounting bolt, we now have spring tension. Repeat on the other side. A common torque for these is 6 Newton meters. Hold and secure. We now have spring tension in both arms. We've removed the tire here to get a better view of what's going on. Like any rim brake, begin by moving the arms and pads toward the rim and see how the pads are moving. The U-brake moves on an arc. The pads are moving up as they travel to the rim. That's going to mean we set the pads at the lower edge of the braking surface. The common U-brake uses a ball and socket or convex-concave washer system. This washer system allows motion of the pad in several planes before it's locked tight with the nut. So this will let us set toe, also the vertical face, square to the rim. When you're beginning to set pads, you're going to notice we have some spring tension. You can remove this tension and make your life a lot easier by breaking free the mounting bolts a small amount. Loosen only a quarter or a half a turn. Without tension, we can move the pad to the arm and get a better feel and look of our adjustment. So we're not finding the tension. Move the pad over, loosen the mounting nut. If we push it to the rim, the washers will tend to self-align and makes the pad setting easy. We want the lower edge of the pad and the U-brake on the lower edge of the braking surface. As the pad gets thinner, it wears and moves up. Bring the pad up and down in the arm as necessary. We want the front and back edge square to the rim. We want the face of the pad and the face of the rim to be square. Toe is a setting where we have a gap at the back and contact in front. What toe is going to help reduce is the tendency for the arm to pull back and forth quickly, causing squeal. So a little bit of toe in our pad will help reduce squeal. A way to get toe is to loosen the mounting nut, hold the pad slightly at an angle in the back, secure the mounting nut, and then check that we have a slight gap. The process is repeated on the other side. An additional technique to set toe is to use a simple shim behind the pad, such as a rubber band. The rubber band will create a gap as we set our pad. The rubber band is going to be removed, and then we'll be left with a slight gap, the thickness of the rubber band. So again, with no spring tension, we come up, lower edge of the pad on the lower edge of the rim. We are getting a slight kick out at the back from our shim. Front and back edges are even, and we secure. Common torque here is 5 to 6 Newton meters. When doing the final tightening on the nut, hold the pad firmly so it doesn't rotate. Remove the shim. Check the toe. After the pads are set, we can restore spring tension. Hold the outer fitting using a cone wrench and rotate it slightly inward. This gains spring tension. Move the wrench a slight amount and secure the mounting bolt to approximately 6 Newton meters. Repeat the process on the other side, moving the wrench approximately the same amount. Fine-tuning spring tension will be done during centering. Cable attachment will vary with the design of the brake. On this system, the housing stops directly in one arm. The brake cable continues to the other arm where the pinch mechanism will hold it tight. Feed the cable through the barrel adjuster, which acts as a housing stop. Guide the cable to the head of the pinch bolt and through the hole. Draw the cable through until the housing is in the barrel adjuster. And now back out the barrel adjuster 2 or 3 turns to allow some fine tuning of our pad clearance. Draw the pads to the rim using a 4th hand tool such as the BT2. Engage the cable, lift one arm, and it pulls the pads to the rim. Here, don't squeeze tightly. We're not trying to press the pads to the rim. Our brake will end up too tight, so barely touching is typically adequate. Secure the pinch bolt nut to about 5 Newton meters, common torque, and here it should flatten and pinch the cable. On this rear brake, we have a different system. The primary wire pulls a straddle wire carrier that pulls the straddle wire that engages the pads to the rim. Here, begin by engaging the primary wire through the pinch bolt. There. Next, we'll draw the pads to the rim. An alternative to the 4th hand is to use a toe strap. Engage the strap around both pads and draw them together to the rim. Next, Engage the straddle wire ends, one into each arm. Pull on the primary wire by hand and push the straddle wire carrier forward. We hold and secure the pinch nut, tightening to approximately 5 Newton meters. Release the strap and pull the lever with force, which is going to test the security and settle the cable into the system. We pull the lever with force to settle in the cable system and to test the security of our pinch bolt. Now we will set the pad clearance at the lever. Too tight of a lever is going to engage instantly. It's going to make it difficult to align without any rubbing. We don't want that. If it's way loose, we're going to have less than 1 inch clearance between our lever and our grip. So here we have an adequate setting. We would now proceed to center the pads at the rim. To make changes to the pad clearance, we can use the barrel adjuster. Bringing the barrel adjuster out effectively lengthens the housing, draws out slack, and brings the pads closer to the rim. Bringing the barrel adjuster in effectively shortens the housing, gives us more slack, and gives us more clearance to the rim. Pad clearance is set by changes to spring tension at the fitting on either arm. In this particular brake, we can see here we're very close with a larger gap on the rider's left side. So we're going to change spring tension, increasing it on this side. We take our cone wrench, engage on the fitting, and hold it. We're going to loosen the mounting nut, and if I bring the wrench inward, rotating this fitting inward, I'm increasing tension on this side. I hold the position and secure the bolt and test it again. We repeat until we have an equal gap on both sides. Here I went a little bit too far. Relax tension a little bit, hold and secure. On this system, we can make spring changes at either side. Next, we would cut and put an end cap on and crimp. We wouldn't want this dangling out here. We can just bend this gently out of the way. The brake is ready to go. And that concludes the process for brake caliper mounting and adjustment. If you're looking for help on a different procedure relating to rim brakes, we've got a whole series. And watch this video for an explanation how we've organized our rim brake video content. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for the latest from Park Tool.